Enrique Tarrio, who has been the leader of the Proud Boys, is despicable. It's despicable what he did on January 6th. It's despicable what he did yesterday with Officer Michael Fanone. I want to start off with something that we should all be calling out, but sadly those on the far right will not. So if you don't know who Enrique Tarrio is, he's a scumbag who has been the leader of the Proud Boys and was convicted and sentenced to, I believe, 15 to 20 years in jail for what he did on January 6th. He's an awful human being, and he's one of those people that Donald Trump pardoned. Michael Fanone is a hero. He was a Capitol police officer who sadly was injured badly and had and still has traumatic brain injury. He's a hero, and Fanone has been one of those outspoken people to those who attacked him and what took place on January 6th. So keep in mind, Tarrio was just arrested the other day for disorderly conduct, and he was pardoned for what took place on January 6th. In my opinion, one of the masterminds behind January 6th, just a despicable human being. So Fanone was at a hotel. I believe he had a speaking engagement. And Tarrio harassed him and knew that he was going to be there and starts following him in this hotel lobby. There's a lot of expletives in here, and we did our best job to try to bleep some of them out. But have a listen to this exchange.
You laughed for like 22 fucking years. Now you don't even want to look in my eyes. You coward. You were a coward that day. You were a coward after.
Let's go home. Let's go home. You're a traitor to this country.
Yeah, so are you.
You're a traitor to this country.
You're a traitor,
fucking
piece of
traitor
shit.
to this country.
That's why they fired your ass, and that's why your own people turned on you, piece of shit. You and your boy over here. You fucking failure.
Go
And the other one's another fucking failure. Little failure. Run from me, motherfucker. Run from me.
He's not staying in the hotel.
You fucking piece of shit. Run from me. Oh, you can say that while you're over there? You didn't do shit.
So you get the idea. A lot of swear words in there. I do find it interesting that Tarrio is calling Michael Fanone, for lack of a better term, a bitch and a coward, when Fanone is the guy who was protecting politicians and protecting people for a living as a Capitol police officer. And Enrique Tarrio is a coward. He was an informant, basically, for the FBI in a plea deal, and he denies that, but the transcripts say otherwise. The leader of the Proud Boys, which is known by the Southern Poverty Law Center as a hate group because they hate black people and they hate Jews. They might as well call themselves the Klan Boys because that's what they are. And now he's stalking individuals. That's what he's doing. He's stalking people like Michael Fanone. Listen, Tarrio should be in jail. He's an awful human being. And I'm getting sick and tired of people on the right that are defending people like that. Donald Trump is defending those types of people, insurrectionists. And while they want to go after the LGBTQ community and they want to go after minorities, but they want to defend people like Enrique Tarrio. And I've had enough. And Tara Setmeyer, who I have a lot of respect for, she's done this show before. She's a CNN contributor. In a way, Scott Jennings was defending some of this behavior and being very cavalier about it. And Tara Setmeyer just went off yesterday on CNN, and good for her. Here's what Tara had to say on CNN about Enrique Tarrio, the way he's treated Michael Fanone and others, and these disgusting criminals and these terrorists. And Tara Setmeyer went off. Have a listen to this.
What he did was bad. I said what he did was bad.
That's bad, but it's also bad that Enrique Tarrio did this.
Right,
He
then
would
you
make
made
a
a false equivalency. There is no fault. No, you got your chance, and I'm going to have mine right now about this. For the law enforcement officers who lost their careers, who almost lost their lives, who protected those ungrateful bastards that day that are now pardoned, like Enrique Tarrio, who was convicted of seditious conspiracy. He's the traitor. And anyone who defends what they did or tries to make a false equivalency, actually, they are traitors to this country and our Constitution. And every law enforcement officer that puts on the badge that defends our democracy. How dare you and anyone else that tries to make a false equivalency with people like the January 6 rioters who were pardoned by the same president you want us to have confidence in his judgment? He pardoned seditious conspiracy traitors.
See, I just think Tara Setmeyer is great, and she makes such a wonderful point there, which to me is pretty self-evident, because we know who Tarrio is. We know who he is. We know what he did on January 6th. We know. But yet, there are still people in this country that defend his behavior. There are still people in this country that defend the pardons. And Michael Fanone, the Capitol Police officer who was injured on January 6th, who has traumatic brain injury, is correct when he calls Enrique Tarrio a traitor to the country. If you were one of those people on January 6th that committed violent acts, convicted of seditious conspiracy, convicted of assaulting cops, who was chanting, "Hang Mike Pence," if you defecated on Nancy Pelosi's desk, whatever are those actions that you did, you are a traitor to the country. And Michael Fanone is 150% correct. And now we are living in a country where as long as you're on Donald Trump's side, that makes everything okay. And I think there are reasonable Republicans out there, at least I would hope, that would say that a guy like Enrique Tarrio is an awful human being. He's despicable and he belongs in jail. I would like to think that there are plenty of Republicans out there that would agree with me on that. And Michael Fanone is a hero. As I would say, it doesn't matter whether you're a Republican or a Democrat, whether you're a police officer or a firefighter or a brave men and women in uniform. You know, I commend all of you. Yes, there are some bad cops out there. Yes, there are some bad apples out there. But I've said time and time again, most police officers are heroes. Most police officers are heroes. And I've said that every day. You know, most cops are heroes. Firefighters are heroes. Those that have been fighting the fires in California, they risk their lives every day. Shouldn't matter whether they're Republican or Democrat. But Enrique Tarrio, who has been the leader of the Proud Boys, is despicable. It's despicable what he did on January 6th. It's despicable what he did yesterday with Officer Michael Fanone. And we need to be able to call that out as a country. And it shouldn't matter whether you're a Trump supporter or not. It shouldn't matter whether you're a Republican or a Democrat. Chasing after Michael Fanone in a hotel and swearing at him and trying to confront him, this is despicable behavior. What the hell did Michael Fanone do? He was a Capitol Police officer who was beaten that day. He was doing his job. Why would we attack somebody like that? Unless you're a demented, crazy individual.